Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the first edition here to the Rongyi Cup season 3, if not mistaken. But Rongyi Cup Group A. I'm of course just VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players, by the home chats, and by my plushies. Oh, by myself for now. No plushies on this screen, pap. Yeah, I'll have to fix that. But welcome one and all to Rongyi Cup Season 3. Bearing in mind that the previous seasons were not actually in StarCraft 2, so this is the first season in StarCraft 2, and this is going to be us covering Group A. Now, I do apologize for us being a little bit inactive over the past couple of days. I did, of course, make everyone aware that unfortunately Rongyi Cup was going to be clashing with some IRL commitments. Specifically, I did have to give some medication to my bunnies, and had to look after them and look over them, and alas, I wasn't going to be able to cast the first 2 days of Rongyi Cup. So Group A and Group B of Rongyi Cup did conclude last night and the night before that. The past 2 days we are here to catch up with at least Group A, and we should be able to stream live at Group C and D. C and D should be live, A and B should be replays, and we should be able to cover the playoffs live as well. Big shit on that one, but we are going to be a little bit more available here over the weekend and during the evenings as well, so we should be able to catch up on all things StarCraft. If you're curious about Thunderfire, if you remember, we casted day 1 of Thunderfire live. Day 2 we have yet to cover. Most likely that'll be maybe the first week of February, maybe the second week of February, but coming into February we'll be able to catch up on those matches. Likewise, same with Pegasus Cup. We missed out on like 3 or 4 weeks of Pegasus Cup. Also going to be looking to catch up on that as well. But again, that should all be in February. There's going to be a lot of catching up on. But otherwise, we're going to be jumping into Rongyi Cup. For those that are curious, for those who don't know what this is a big online event. I say online event as an offline finals run and organized by SCBoy and the Chinese scene. I want to say $20,000 prize pool, massive prize pool. Best players in the world are going to be facing off, and we have the initial group stage. We're going to be jumping into group stage, Group A. It is a 4-player GSL group, not round robin. So GSL group, it means that the winners will play against winners, losers against losers, and then a decided match at the end. 5 best of 3s. 5 best of 3s are ready here for you tonight. And who is in Group A? 4 players. ByuN, Trigger, who's going to be playing first, followed by Hero and Rogue. So honestly, this is one of the higher profile groups, one of the closer groups as well. We have some top tier Protoss, Zerg, and Terran all in Group A, and they're going to be facing off here before you. Let's go. Let us go. Game 1 is going to be here on 10,000 feet as we jump into ByuN versus Trigger. Bearing in mind that Trigger is peaking at the moment. Trigger, he recently did defeat Clem in the finals of a best of 5 of the TvP Monday. So Trigger has been looking like a beast. Specifically in PvP, he's been popping off as well. I want to say he beat Max Packs like 3 or 4 times over the past 7 days. Like, it's crazy just how strong Trigger has been looking in some matchups. I will say that Trigger is looking a little bit weaker against Zerg. We did take note of that in his series against a Laser in last week's TvP Monday finals. So again, Trigger, his PvZ is looking a little bit lacking, but his PvT and PvP is looking on point. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of 10,000 feet, we have the Canadian Protoss player. We have the red Protoss for Basilisk. It is Trigger. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran for Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And also a big shout out to Angry SE2 in the chat. Share my. Thank you so much for the raid. Hope you had a great stream. Hope you had a great ladder session. Hope you had a great time. Dzień dobry. Welcome one and all, as we are jumping into our fresh series, our fresh best of 3. Oh boy, here we go. First things first, ByuN is going for an economic opener. He's going for a rack expand, a single gas start out of our Terran player. Meanwhile, we do see Trigger scouting for a proxy, does get eyes on the SCV, and should be in position to block the eBay if we attempt it. Oh, overreaction here. 3 probes, Jesus. Yeah, 2 probes were sent down to low ground, so a bit of an overreaction. We do see that Trigger desperately wants to make sure that there is no block, and he wants to expand. There it is. Nexus gets thrown down. But you could argue here that this is a better start for ByuN. Sure, he didn't get the eBay block off, but he did force 3 workers off the mineral line, so he did cause quite nuisance across the map. Back at home, there's the reactor. Oh, sorry, there's the Reaper. Reaper is on the way alongside the CC on the low ground. Again, it was an economic opener out of ByuN, and will settle into 10,000 feet. Now, welcome one and all to 10,000 feet. 10,000 feet is one of the smaller maps in the map pool. Smaller map, shorter rush distance by ground. Aggression is typically favored on this map as well. Because the map is so small, it does mean that you can take a fight, you can win a fight and instantly counterattack. Even if it's on your own half of the map, you can counterattack real fast and real quick. Momentum swings very heavily, very quickly on 10,000 feet. So that is going to be a big factor coming into this. These engagements are going to be that much more important. Now though, again, we're calming things down. We'll see the second choice from Trigger if he goes for a Stargate, Robo, or Twilight Council. If he goes for the Council, how many gateways as the Reaper does poke in, Stalker is out, and Trigger should not lose any probes. It does throw the Reaper away. There it is, Twilight Council for Trigger. He is getting into his Council. ByuN currently is unaware. As the Reaper is going to be zoned away. Again, that's one of the downsides of 10,000 feet, is that it's a very inaccessible two-base setup. Sure, there's a ramp into the main base, but it is fully walled off by those buildings. So only one way in. So far, Trigger does keep ByuN in the dark. Again, behind this, we're going for the Robo, we're going for a safety shield right away with the natural. Another gateway, getting up to, I believe, 2 gates, and we'll see if we go for a third gateway or for a third nexus. We have seen Trigger be quite greedy as of late. No, but never mind. I assumed it was going to be Blink, like 2-gate Blink, maybe 3-gate Blink, but no, it is going to be a Dark Shrine. Cheeky build here by Trigger. Fun fact, this is a very niche build, but we have seen this quite a bit over the past couple of weeks from players like Classic, Hero, and now Trigger as well. We have seen a lot of Protoss players mix this in. I would not say that they rely on it, I would not say that they depend on it, but once in a best of 3, once in a best of 5, we have seen DTs sprinkled into these recent PvTs, and Trigger is also one to embrace that. Now, ByuN, we have seen him insta-GG to this before. This is very deadly. The Invisible Man is pretty good. Now, if ByuN mules at the wrong time, if he does not get a Raven out, thankfully there is a Raven on the way, then the game could just end. But as you just mentioned, he's going for the add-on swap. Thankfully, 1-1-1 Raven opener. ByuN, he will have detection. This will not end the game. Okay. At the same time, what am I drop here towards the main base? We do see Trigger. He does have his Stalkers on patrol at the natural. Main base is exposed. Drop comes in, and ByuN sees everything. His scouts are dark, trying to confirm what's going on. Should be holding onto a scan. Wouldn't mind doing much done, and can even be saved. Yeah, nice save. Oof. Nice save on one of the mines. DT's warping in, and now Trigger, he knows that ByuN knows, right? He knows he's been scouted. Oh no! As the mine shot goes off, 5 probes go down. Ay, that should not have happened. As Trigger, he was inattentive, it goes across the map. It does save the DTs at least, but again, it gets spotted by the Raven. Oh, good. As he has to back off. And again, so far, Trigger having a hard time here in the early game. So far, his opener has not paid for itself. He's lost 5 probes. Oh, and the Viking's gonna hunt the Prism down. Ay, unloads, saves the DTs with the Prism. There's a recall, will not save it. Oh my god. War Prism goes down. Another 5. Oh god, another 5 probe kills, 10 in total. As the mine shot went off, ByuN just pulling Trigger apart here, and Trigger is having a very hard time getting into the mid game. We have a third Nexus on the way. Trigger, he's expanding, he's taking up, he's staying on a low gas count to get into mainly a charge-based composition. Charge is now done. But ByuN has momentum. Now, it looks like ByuN is going to be staying back at home for the time being. He could have gone for a 2-base all-in and pulled the boys, but no, he's going for a later timing, waiting for stim, waiting for combat shields. Upgrades are on the way, so once they kick in, then ByuN will move out. So until then, ByuN is going to be building up back at home. This is giving Trigger the opportunity to recover. So far, he has yet to take into any splash damage. He's very heavily reliant on those zealots. Charge on +1, now getting into Blink. Speaking of, Blink is not yet done, and Stalkers are going down. Losing 1 Stalker so far. Raven harass across the map. Gets a probe. Denies mining. So far, so good. ByuN being a little bit ambitious here with these Marines, bearing in mind the stim is not yet done. So we do get some harass. Forcing friendly fire more than anything. Yes, here comes ByuN's push. And this is lined up. This is lined up with the upgrades. +1 is going to finish in the middle of the fight, but stim and combat shields will complete in time for the timing attack for the push. 5 more probes going down. Else to the Raven. ByuN's moving in. And yeah, no shield battery in position. There's no battery. Once this area does open up a little bit further here, then maybe Trigger can engage. So far though, ByuN kites well. Takes down the Zealots. Does focus fire the sentry. And now you can just stim in. Yeah, you can just stim on forward. He's going for the Immortals. He gets one. One Immortal goes down. He gets one. He's going to be able to get the other as well. Massive pickup. CG gets called. And ByuN, he overwhelms. He breaks through. He does take game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. ByuN takes the lead in this series. Again, a very, very rough start for Trigger. Winding it back, remember, he was losing all these workers to the Water Mines, to the Water Mine drop. He lost 10 probes to the Water Mine drop, 15 in total to the Raven harass as well. Actually, I want to say even almost up to 20 workers went down just to the harassment. On top of that, he did take a big gamble, a big risk going into DTs, and unfortunately he got scouted. He didn't just get scouted, but ByuN was already opening up Raven as well, so he would have had detection available. So a very rough start there for Trigger. The builds, the openers did not go his way, and ByuN was able to get a very comfortable lead early on. That's why that defense was so difficult, was because all the tech leading up to that didn't really pay off. We lost a lot of workers, and the initial DT opener didn't pay for itself. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're now getting into game number 2. Going to be loading into Winter Madness, a much larger map in the map pool, and this is going to give Trigger a little bit more breathing room. But let's go. Let's go. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Canadian Protoss player. We have the red Protoss for Basilisk. It is Trigger. Here we go, and again, it was just a very rough early game for Trigger, which set him behind. We'll see if Trigger can get into a more comfortable game state here in game 2 on a much larger map. Now, we did mention here that because of the size of 10,000 feet, it allowed for more aggressive timing attacks and more crisp just pushes, which we saw at ByuN. Here on Winter Madness is a higher chance that we can settle into a longer game state. I do favor Protoss when it comes to getting into the mid game, when it comes to gaining map control and looking to overwhelm the Terran. We'll see if Trigger can get there though. That is a big question. So if he can get there, we'll see if he can embrace the mid game. As ByuN once again, single gas opener, once again going for a more economic start. We'll see if he goes into another Water Mine drop. Otherwise, he can go into Reactored Hellions or Reactored Reaper Hellion, for example. Can go into faster Tech Lab, faster Cyclone. We could see Banshee play, which was very trendy, very popular last year in this matchup. We'll see. So now Trigger, it's his turn to be as annoying as possible. In position to pylon block. Let's pull away, and it doesn't really deny too much mining here. Does force the second SCB down to the low ground, and on top of that, it did delay the CC for like a second or two. Oh, hello. Speaking of, because ByuN revealed his CC timing, ByuN, he's going for a Tech Lab into Marauder. So the goal here, the plan is to try to punish Trigger, who should be punishing ByuN. Once again, just to wind it back a little bit here, ByuN is going for a faster, more greedier build. Trigger, he's aware. ByuN knows that because of the attempted pylon block, and ByuN is hoping to try to punish the Adept moving out across the map, assuming that Trigger would try to delay the economy of ByuN. We can see that Trigger doesn't go for the Adept, is going for the Stalker instead. Based on the rally, he's not moving out. So the plan here for ByuN was to catch the harassing Adept or the harassing Stalker, but it doesn't look like there will be one. So this was a big gamble here by ByuN. ByuN, he was hoping for a more aggressive response out of the Protoss, out of Trigger, and we're not really getting it. This Stalker moves out, but I believe Trigger shouldn't commit. If he does commit across the map, he will lose it. Oh boy. Meanwhile, behind this, ByuN is going for a 3-racks. Ooh, okay, 3-rack set up here early. Stim, heavy bio army. Trigger, he moves out with the Stalker. He's going to get caught, and this Stalker will go down. Yeah, massive pickoff here for ByuN. ByuN can keep on pushing. Trigger is in danger back at home. He's got throwing down a shield battery in desperation. Does have another gateway on the way. He's chronoing out his Stalker. But again, it is a rough start for Trigger. Early on, he went for the Stalker. I assumed he was going to be taking more defensive stance. I mean, that didn't happen. He still moved out. And now ByuN is moving in. ByuN is moving in. The shield battery is not yet complete. ByuN, if possible, he wants that Stalker. We'll lose the Marine. Okay. Marine goes down. ByuN has to back off. Oh, can he get the Stalker? Oh no, he can! Oh, 2 Stalkers go down. Yeah, 2 Stalkers for a Marauder. A better trade here for ByuN. And remember, ByuN is going for a stim timing. He's going for the 3-racks. So hyper aggressive follow up here by ByuN. Trigger is in the dark. Trigger has seen nothing in regards to the main base. For all he knows, it could be a 3rd CC, could be 3 CC 3-racks, could be a 1-1-1 into Raven, could be a mine drop, it could be early Cyclone, it could be this early stim timing. As Trigger's getting up to 3 gates. So 3-gate blink into a 3rd base. This is relatively safe play out of Trigger, but the problem is that he has to be active with this. He has to move out to spot and to delay this. And here he comes. Now this is a little bit scary. Blink is still on the way. Blink is still being researched. Trigger does spot the army. He does spot Stim. As ByuN did reveal his hand. Trigger did reveal. ByuN is setting up back at home. He's got his bunker. His army is split. Oh, blinked in. Thankfully, did have that prism. Trigger does save, and Trigger behind this, taking up in towards Colossus. So his goal here is to delay, is to contain ByuN while building up into splash damage. Meanwhile, ByuN is going to be waiting for his medevacs, bearing in mind that because of the 3-axe opener, the starport is late. It's a delayed starport, so delayed medevacs. ByuN is stuck at home. Trigger still not finding any real damage. He does pick up a couple of Marines here and there. Nice snap on the Observer. ByuN does spot him. And the upgrades are done. The upgrades are done. The medevacs have arrived. Now ByuN can push, and this is a massive army. Now with the Colossus, Trigger can survive this, but the first Colossus is still on the way. He needs a little bit more time. The first Colossus should pop out. At the same time, Trigger, he's ready for a backstab. He's getting ready for that backstab, potentially. As Trigger, he's forced to warp in back at home. A charge is still not yet done. We got slow lots. Oh, there's the warp in across the map. So no defensive warp in. Oh, the Colossus, no! Yeah, miscontrol. Late reaction here by Trigger. The Colossus goes down, and that's going to be it. That's going to be it. There's just nothing to defend. Again, there was only defense possible with the Colossus. But Trigger, he was inattentive. He was distracted by the Prism. By his own harass. The Rover goes down. No Colossus will pop. And ByuN, he has broken. He has broken the natural. He has broken the natural base. He has broken Trigger. As there's just nothing left to defend. Again, one small slip up, one small mistake, you're not looking at the wrong moments, and that can be game. That can be game then and there. as ByuN kills 16 probes. 16 probes, most of the stalkers now getting on top of the production. We have the second wave, the second army moving out. Has ByuN, his first army is still trading well. As ByuN sims in, catching the remaining stalkers. Once again, going for the third base mineral line. And what does Trigger have? He's down to 4 stalkers out of 3. GG gets called, and ByuN will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the winners match. GG. GG, well played. ByuN, he does claim the series. Again, just a really rough early game in game 1 for Trigger. Here coming into game 2, it is very similar. Trigger, he lost the early 2 stalkers, which did set him, did kind of pin him down back at home. Likewise, the sword that unfortunately he was just that little bit inattentive when it came to his defense. He wasn't looking at his Colossus, and it was the first thing to go down. And I'll be honest, the defense could have been possible there if he was able to pull back the losses in time, wait for the shield battery. If you remember, the battery was still not yet done either. It was like 10 seconds away. But if he could pull back the Colossus, wait for the shield battery, get a couple of swipes in, he could delay the push and extend the game. But once the Colossus went down, that was game. That was game then and there. GG, well played. With that, ByuN will claim the series, and now we're getting ready for our next best of 3. Bearing in mind, this is a group stage. This is a GSL group, of course, with 4 players. We have ByuN, we have Trigger, we also have Hero and Rogue. Oh boy.